Now, will South Africa become one of 8 countries in the world to have helium reserves, significant enough to export to the global markets? Renergen says helium production will become core to the group after the value of its helium gas reserves in Virginia in the Free State rose 27%. Renergen expects it to become a significant global producer of helium when the Virginia project starts production next year. Renergen CEO Stefano Maran joins us. Stefano, great to have you in the studio.
Great to be here, thank you.
27%. My question is, we do know that part of this helium is actually has to be extracted from methane. Now, what would be the cost going forward to actually separate the two?
So one of the unique aspects about our gas is the concentration of helium. So unlike most helium fields in the world, they're predominantly methane fields where you'd get methane upwards of 85 to 90%. And the helium concentration would be anywhere from 0.1%, which is considered economically recoverable, to the global average of about 0.5%. Our last well that we drilled in September 2016 came in at 11%, which is an anomaly in the helium market, which means that our process to extract is somewhat cheaper than most other people would otherwise experience. The way that we're looking at doing it is creating a helium train, which then would separate all of the gas via cryogenics. And as a result, our capex on the helium extraction is significantly lower than you'd see in other helium fields.
That's very interesting. And I mean, you're saying that this is going to become the core for Renergen as you begin to extract that helium. So you're definitely confident about the demand in the market for it. What are some of the major industries that you're looking to tap into as you begin to export?
So we're not going to sell directly to industry. The volume of helium that we produce isn't conducive. We're going to be a wholesaler, so we'll be selling to major users of the product, or at least rather aggregators of the product. But helium, its primary purpose is MRIs. So if ever you wanted to get a CAT scan done or an MRI or anything like that, you can't do it without helium. But other important industries that require helium are manufacturing of fiber optics. It's mainly used in physical applications, underwater breathing, welding, and then of course I think about 5% of the market is balloons. So South Africa won't be running out of party balloons anytime soon.
I was about to say the only helium I know is the one that you use to kind of alter your voice at a party.
but going into that, we have been seeing South Africa actually get much of the gas actually from Mozambique. Now, with this particular discovery, what does that mean between that partnership, should I say, that has been going forward?
So methane and helium are two distinct gases. And the gas that we're bringing in from Mozambique is predominantly methane. Helium is incredibly rare. It's the second most abundant element in the universe, but it's very rare because it escapes Earth's gravity. So as you find it and as you use it, it just disappears, and then it's gone, and then you can never recover it. With the result that the helium resources on the planet are dwindling quite fast. And the gas that comes in from Mozambique doesn't contain any helium whatsoever. So this discovery will change South Africa from being a 100% importer of helium to, in the very short term, from 2019 onwards, not requiring any further imports. The first phase of our project will be sufficient to cater for all of South Africa's needs, and then our medium-term plans are to become a net exporter of helium.
I feel like, also you did mention that it's not going to be a capital-intensive project, but where will the money be coming from? You have said that you will be spending about 400 million rand to initiate the first rollout. And then also, when can your stakeholders start to see benefits or the yields after that 2019 process begins?
So we've always maintained that our project will go into full-scale production in 2019, and we're still on track for that. And that's the stage at which we believe that the project will become cash flow positive. So you'll start to see the results of that when we publish figures in our 2020 annual reports. But the capital for this project, obviously first and foremost, we've been provided with a facility from the IDC. That's a debt facility to the tune of about 218 million rand, and we'll draw down on that once we've completed an impending capital raise, which is in the wings and waiting, where we just need to cross a few more T's and dot a few more I's before we come to the market.
Let's talk about land management, because this is particularly a conversation that has been going around. Going forward, exploitation, how are you doing on that particular front? Because a few mines have actually gotten on the wrong side of legislation in the past.
So we're actually doing quite well in that. Our approach to land management has always been an inclusive one. So it's a case of making sure that all stakeholders are always kept abreast of every step of the chain. And so to that extent, everything has been an inclusive one with regards to the farmers in the area, to the dwellers in the area. And we recently just announced a positive environmental authorization in September 2017, and that was the very last permission that we needed in order to go into full-scale production. So we've our scorecard on that front is 10 out of 10 at this stage.